Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Positively Awesome Wrestling Podcast. It is yours truly, the Drip King. Fumbling over words already. That's not good. And I am joined, as always, by the man to the right of me, Albert. Albert, how the heck have you been, sir?
Been doing good. How's everybody else doing?
I need a bacchiotomy. My back out, and it's been horrible.
It sounds like fun. Yeah, it sounds like getting growing up, right?
Yeah. And anybody that watched the whole Booking Wars thing yesterday, by the end of it, they saw the pain I was in. I was just done. I didn't even get to gloat about it, so I'll do a little bit of that tonight.
I think you're owed that.
Oh yeah, for sure. But right below me, we have the invisible hand of WrestleBuddy himself. It is my good friend, probably my best friend from all of the Twitterverse. Fantastic gentleman below us, Alex. How the heck are you, sir? Thank you for joining us, man.
First of all, thank you so much for such kind words. And and I just wake up for the prediction. So I'll do the prediction with Jimmy, and again I'll go to sleep.
He's a trooper, man.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
That makes three of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
What up? Thank you, babe. No, it is you that is looking good. You know this. We go through this every single week. We dance back and forth. It is you that looks good. I just look like a kid that's wearing a crown on his head. Courtney, thank you for joining us as well. But we are going to touch very quickly on Full Gear. That was last night. It was a very opinionated. There's a lot of opinions on the show. I'm not going to go there. I'll be nice about it, but we'll do that real quick, and then we're going to jump into Survivor Series talk. We're going to do the predictions to see if we can crown an WWE prediction champion. We crowned the AEW prediction champion, and it is none other than yours truly, the belt collector. That's the new gimmick now. Your Drip King, Jimmy Bebe. On top of winning that yesterday, I also went on to the Wrestling With Your Thoughts show and finally put the SmackDown on the ship as captain once and for all, and now I am the one true champion of the Bookersville as well. So that's 3 titles I got on my mantle. I'm looking to add a 4th. That's what we're here for tonight. But before that, we're going to do Full Gear. So Albert hasn't watched it yet, so he doesn't have he might have an opinion on some shit he's seen people talking about, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you my favorite match or part from the thing, and then I'm going to let Alex do the same, and then we'll jump into Survivor Series. I want to get AEW some love because I like it. I don't like skipping over it. It always hurts my feelings when we forget to talk about it. But I still haven't seen the whole thing. What I do like, for one, is that my main man, Orange Cassidy, got that victory. Thank you. That was nice. But here you go. Here's my other one right here. Julia Hart is your new TBS champion. I like the way the match was constructed. I like the finish. And I like the fact that I predicted it. That's honestly what made me the winner of the Positively Awesome Wrestling AEW Predictions Championship, pretty much.
Well,
that's what did it for me. So
that and one misstep on my part that I should have been a little bit smarter about. But
thing was gonna lose.
I did. Alex, that's what I said off air, right? Is it not?
Crazy, man. But yeah, I think it was done perfectly. Chris Statlander did not look bad at all. She was protected 100%. Sky Blue, obviously she was there to take the pin, but it's fine because the way it happened was just well executed. Julia Hart should be a champion right now. She's, again, I said on the prediction show, I think she's the second most improved wrestler in all of wrestling, hands down. Like, she's done a very good job. She's not even close to the first, but I don't think number 3 is close to her either. So good job to Julia Hart. I'm very excited for her. I'm hoping that does something for the TBS title, and we'll see. But with that said, I want to swing it down to Alex. I'm very excited to see what he has to say about this because I'm clueless, honestly. I never hear him talk about AEW that much, so I'm very curious to hear what he has to say.
The best thing about AEW is I love the company. I love the storyline right now. Whatever is going on, I just hate Tony Khan. Nothing else. I love the company so much.
I hear that a lot from people, so it's not even like a crazy thing to say.
And
You know
for
what?
me,
We went through years of everybody hating Vince, but liking WWE but hating Vince, right? So I mean,
yes.
there's precedence that.
But Vince is not a man child. That's also a thing. He's a grown
That's
man.
true.
So for me,
Go
the
naked.
event was really good. I really like the pay-per-view. Like one of the best pay-per-views of the year from AEW, I'll say. All the matches were good. The Orange Cassidy one that Jimmy said, I liked the result, but I didn't like the match. I thought it should be a bit longer. It was a
Okay.
very kind of one for me. But I'm very happy that Orange Cassidy retains the title. I predict the same. This I call Julia Hart Little Lady Undertaker. In the other podcast, I call her like that. So she will win the title. I already said, and Adam Copeland Edge will win. Many
Yeah.
other people say that they will lose. I knew they will not lose 100%, and it happened.
Crazy people said they were going to lose. Crazy
Yes.
people. Right
And
there.
my and my favorite match of the night was the death match. This Texas death match. That was pretty brutal, like really brutal match. But the interference part, I didn't like it.
What spot?
The interference from Brian Cage and
Yes.
I didn't like that part.
So,
Otherwise, the match was really good.
So my thought when I was watching it, because I got home and I tuned in right as the three-way started between Julia Hart, Chris Statlander, and Sky Blue. Got to see that, and then I watched the rest of the show from there. Quick notes on it: the match that we're talking about, the death match. I was literally about to give it the match of the year. I was literally that close. That's how great it was. It was very brutal. Like you bringing up the interference, I was like, no, that kind of. Albert's over there flipping out because I'm giving Hangman Page some credit here.
Yes, exactly.
But I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil the thing. But I will say the interference killed it for me at one point.
Yes.
I was like, come on. And I do think the match was too long.
Guys, spoil away. I don't care for it.
Okay. And then there's a spot at the end where there's a cinder block that comes into play here. And he cracks it over Hangman Page's head. And I'm like, there's your finish. And it wasn't. And that to me was too much. And that's when I'm like, all right, I can't put it in the conversation anymore. And I know it sounds like a small detail, but if you take me out of it, you're done. Like the match was great. I'm so glad Swerve won. Like if I was wrong about every other match, I would have been fine as long as Swerve won, because I've been praising this man since he got there. I've been saying he's one of the absolute top 3 signings AEW's made, and he's proven it every single time he gets a chance to. So the match was long, and that spot was the interference, man. Why? It was pointless. It was freaking pointless.
It was pointless. Man. Yes, it was pointless. There was no need. Okay, if Prince Nana will interfere, it is fine because he's there with. But Brian Cage coming and power bombing, no, not my cup of tea.
Yeah, and no, it wasn't. The Nana one makes sense because he's there. He's part of the package.
Yes.
Brian Cage is just a guy who gets thrown into things all the time, and it's like. And then we saw all them dudes taking all that offense throughout the entire match, and then Brian Cage gets like one little thing, and it's like he's out for the rest, and it's like, why? I just watched Hangman Page get a cinder block over his head. Why can't Brian Cage do that?
That's why I don't like interference during those kinds of matches, because what is taking that one person out the entire match when these guys are bleeding buckets against each other for no reason? That's the worst thing of it, and that goes for any. This is WWE, any company at all. I just don't like that. You know, unless it's like a couple of like much weaker guys. Like we understand, like the Mean Street Posse is going to get beat up by Test. Fine, whatever.
Yes,
that's right.
Yes. You know? Brian Cage is not that guy.
No,
again,
exactly.
I don't want to take anything away. The match was brutal. It was like it was a masterpiece of violence. It really was. Truly was. Swerve looked like, I know MJF's the champ, but to me, Swerve looks like the guy now because of how he came out of this match.
Yes.
So, match is beautiful. And I just want to give a quick shout out to the Golden Jets and Young Bucks match because, again, I thought the match was really well done. It was a really good match.
Yes.
And I crap on those guys all the time. So here I am giving them their flowers when I feel like they deserve it.
Yes.
But the same problem with Hangman Page and Swerve, it went on a little too long. Just a little bit
Yes.
too long. But
Yes. And I really didn't understand the storytelling that they are doing with the Devil storyline right now with AEW. They are building up, and in the event, in the pay-per-view, there was no Devil. Not even one glimpse they show of the Devil. People
Devil
were
was at
hoping that.
ringside.
I know. Who
That's
is the
why you
Devil?
didn't see the
I
Devil.
know.
That's why we didn't see
I
the
know.
Devil. He was at ringside.
But
I just want to point this out. I like the idea of what they did in an Attitude Era kind of a flashback with MJF. I thought that was kind of a cool idea.
yes.
But I don't like the way that they devalued Switchblade to not be able to beat a 100% MJF, in the main event. I'm not crazy about that. And I'm also not crazy about why is Adam Cole like able to substitute himself in for MJF? Like, why was that even an idea of like that being okay? Like, it just doesn't make any logical sense.
Yes.
Like, I understand the story behind it and stuff, but he just got ankle surgery. Like, that could have been anybody else that could have said they would have slipped. They would have slid into that point. That just didn't make sense to me. I get the intrigue, and I thought it was cool, but like, let's connect the dots a little bit better when you do these things. There's an easier way to do it,
I will say, I thought for sure what they were about to do is Jay White was going to be like, between the two of you, you got two legs, so I'll take on both of you at the same time. I thought that's what we were about to get. But now I'm guessing that Adam Cole's injury is probably legit. That's what I'm thinking at this point.
It has to be now. Yeah.
Yes, it's looking like that. It is a legit injury.
And that's why we didn't see the Devil last night. Well, we did. We just didn't see him in the mask because he was at ringside and he was helping MJF.
But the guy who appears in mask, definitely it's not Adam Cole. Like, it is some random guy who's wearing they can do like that.
He's a very tiny frame person. The people that aren't wearing the masks are bigger for sure.
Yes.
But the one in the mask is a very tiny frame to the point where when people said Britt Baker, I see what they mean. But it's not Britt Baker, people.
I have one theory about this masked man, not about the devil. The guys with the devil. Maybe these people are the fired wrestlers from WWE, like Mustafa Ali or Ziggler or something like that.
Running
Maybe they can pull off
retribution angle.
No, not retribution angle. Not retribution. I'll say assassinates. So one by one, they'll disclose, and in the end, the leader will get revealed. I think so. It will be like that, and the leader will get revealed by Revolution. I think they are stretching this storyline till Revolution.
Okay. There's a lot of good theories to it.
Yeah. I mean, I can't disagree with that.
A good story angle. That's what makes it good to me. Is when we talk about with the bloodline all the time during its like peak. Like, the reason it's so good is because it could literally go so many different places, and all of them make sense, and they're all pretty cool. Same thing with this. There's a lot of different ways it can go, and it could be very fun and cool. So again, I'm making sure I'm putting this over because I don't want people. I'm tired of hearing that Jimmy hates AW because it's the most blasphemous fucking thing I've ever heard in my life, man.
I really think that we're pretty positive about AEW most of the time. I think I'm a little bit harder on them than you are sometimes, but I think for the most part we're both pretty positive on the show about AEW.
My gripes are always about like not the talent or anything. It's always unless it's the Young Bucks, but it's always about like just booking decisions and things like or what we think could help it. That's what most of our stuff is. It's what we think can help it, but doesn't mean we're right. Just our thoughts.
Of course.
Enough with that. We're gonna move on now to the reason we're here today: Survivor Series predictions. This isn't going to be the order, but this is what we're going to do it this way. I also have 3 bonus questions to add towards the end because I feel like a few of these are pretty predictable. So we have to kind of add some things to help the juiciness of the match. Also, just so it's known, I'm going to send the list to Tidy too, and I'm going to get his predictions as well. Just because he's not here doesn't mean he's not participating. He's part of the 4-way. Can't kick him out. Can't do that to the man.
One more thing for AEW. Just want to point out, Will Ospreay, awesome news. Huge signing, amazing for AEW. Absolutely, that's the signing Tony Khan promised, and that's exactly who we got. Perfect.
And I saw some people like it's not that big of a deal because he's been there before. Let me say why it is a big deal. WWE wanted him, and they didn't get him. And I'll dare say that Will Ospreay is probably, outside of CM Punk, the biggest free agent of the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Like he would have been a superstar in WWE, and now that's not going to happen because AEW got him. So this is a big signing, whether people want to admit it or not. I don't care. You're crazy if you don't think it is. It's a pretty big signing for them.
Absolutely.
Let's hope they can execute it. Let's make sure he doesn't get lost in the shuffle, which I don't think he is. He's phenomenal, and he fits in with what they do. So I'm not really worried about it, but big signing for sure. But back to the Survivor Series, we're starting off with the most recently added match to the show. I think it'll probably be the second match. They'll probably start with the War Games and end with one, but we're doing this one first. Santos Escobar versus Carlito, and I am so excited for this one because Santos Escobar is getting a singles match on a major pay-per-view. Thank you. It's what he should have been doing this whole time, but they had him playing babyface and it just don't work. So, with that,
I think it did work.
Huh?
I think it did work.
Yeah, because I've talked about this shit before. You gotta, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll start with Alex, though. I'm not taking this whole I'm wrong thing nicely, so I'm just skipping over you right now, Albert. Alex, what about this match has you intrigued, and who do you got winning?
I think Santos is winning this match because he has to win it. If he'll lose, then whatever momentum he gained after turning heel, it'll get lost. So I think Santos is going to win it. And I really don't understand about this LW, all this faction and all, because I really like to see Santos rebuilding his old faction from NXT, the Legado del Fantasma with Joaquin Phoenix, and that'll be much better. And I think these guys will join him in the coming months. Most likely they are going to join him, and again the heel faction will rule SmackDown.
Yeah, I think they could join as early as Survivor Series. I think that, but there's also another theory going around, and I think Albert's about to spin it on us. So, Albert, same question for you, sir. Why did you think Sting was going to lose at Full Gear? I'm just joking. Go ahead, Carlos.
It made sense.
Santos or Carlito? Who we got?
So I'm gonna go Carlito either way, but I do think that they're all right. So here's the deal: Ray is out, right? He's out indefinitely. His leg is, he had knee surgery. So if they're gonna continue this, there has to be a 6-man, match going on, right? So if that's going to be the case, if we're going to have, a 3-on-3, we're going to need some backup here for Santos, right? And we've already seen that he's turned his back on his Legado brothers, but we do know that Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo are both still in NXT right now and be the perfect addition for them to come up, because now Carlito's established being boys with the other guys. And you know what? Now it brings a little bit more experience up with Santos Escobar. I think it actually elevates him and levels his act up a little bit. And they get Cruz Del Toro walking wild, who can then wrestle some singles matches, and they can also do some one-on. As babyfaces, I think they're better because they're more energetic.
Luchadors are always better as babyfaces because they wrestle like babyfaces. We like seeing what they're doing. We want to cheer on what they're doing. So it always works better for them that way. I think another thing is seeing tag matches between Cruz and Del Toro against Humberto and Garza would be beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. So I can kind of see what that would get. And they are definitely an upgrade over Cruz and Del Toro.
No, that's one guy. Cruz Del Toro and Joaquin Wild.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, my bad, everybody. Sorry, they're not on TV. They're on TV. They never say their names or anything. So sorry, but yeah,
that is true, and that's the problem. And I think that's why they have to stay with the LWO, because at least they have an identity there.
Yeah. And if Dragon League gets brought in with that, then that faction just can keep on going. And look, with Santos, with Humberto, and Angel, that's beautiful. That's a great three people for a faction. So
yes,
he went with Carlito though. I didn't see that one coming at all. I can't go against Santos. I just can't.
No, I said Santos.
Yes.
I thought you said Carlito, bro.
No.
I'm glad we got that figured out. He would
No. I'm going Santos.
All right. Yeah, I'm not picking against Santos. He just turned a heel, and I love Santos as a heel. He's
Yes.
awesome. So, and he said Dom was right. He's right here for me. I'm never betting against that man ever again in my life. He said
there
Dom
it
was
is.
right. So that's a clean sweep. But again, I figured this was going to happen. That's why I added some bonus questions towards the end. And apparently, Huberto and Angel will end up teaming together. That's what. Yeah, that would be cool though if they came up with him. I think that's a good for every party involved. Even Cruz del Toro and Joaquin. There you go. I said it. That's Joaquin Wild. Boom.
Yes.
Right. That's
He's got
See,
He's
I know
got
the
it.
names. I just hadn't heard them in a very, very, very long time.
They don't say it enough. It's true.
Yeah, for real. But next up, we will move on to Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark for the what is it? This one is the women's world
champion. Yes.
Yes. I got there. I still haven't got used to it. She hasn't defended enough, honestly, for me to get there, but I'm not mad about it. Anyway, Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark. Again, I think we all know where this one's going, but
Yes.
I want to hear about your intrigue. I want to know if Zoe's done enough to get you invested in the match as well. Let's go ahead and do that. And I will swing it back down to Alex as he is the guest and he gets to go first again.
Okay, so for me, I'm not interested that much in this match because Zoe hasn't done anything to hype up the match till now, and everybody knows who is going to win it. It is very clear picture. Definitely Rhea is not going to lose, and there will be maybe some sort of interference will be there. Some new rivalry will start from here for Rhea. But actually, I am not that much interested in this match because Zoe is not doing something that I should get invested in this rivalry. If it will be Raquel or Nia Jax, it will be better. A triple threat or maybe a one-on-one, that will be much better. But with Zoe, no.
Quick question. I know the intrigue with Nia and Raquel makes it a more interesting match. Like just them alone because of the past that they've had with Rhea recently.
Yes.
Zoe doesn't have the past. Do you think that she offers up a better opponent for a better wrestling match, though, with Rhea Ripley than the other two do?
Yes.
Do you think that she has the potential to kind of win you over in this match?
She has the potential. Definitely, she has the potential. But I don't think so. They are getting a lot of time in the event. It will be a very short match, like most likely 5 to 7 minutes max, not more than that.
Okay.
And I really love to see Rhea versus Raquel, not Nia Jax, Rhea versus Raquel, because they have a lot of history and their matches were so good in NXT.
Yeah, they let them get brutal with each other for sure.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to say I'm clearly taking Rhea here. Again, I don't think anybody's not taking Rhea here. I think this match was put together for Zoe Stark to try and win us over. I think that's the purpose of this match because they're not dumb. They know that she's not going to get on the mic and win us over. All she has to do is be serviceable, which so far she's done. Like she just has to get us there. But once the match starts, I think that's where Zoe is kind of special compared to a lot of others. And I think that's kind of why they're putting them in this rivalry.
I like to add one thing, Jimmy, in this. Like you said, that they are trying to put her over because of the wrestling skills that she have.
Yeah.
I still remember there was one match between Io Shirai and Io Sky. Sorry.
Yeah.
Io Sky versus Candice LeRae in NXT TakeOver. And nobody was interested in that match. But
the match was a banger.
Yes. And after some time when the match started, slowly, because of the match, people get invested.
Yeah.
And that match is like one of the best matches of NXT TakeOver. So it might happen. It all depends on how they are going to book it.
So as of now, there's only 5 matches. So there's time for them to give them. I do think there's time for them to give them because usually they've been doing 6 to 7. And so if they stick with 5, the Survivor Series can still have their time, but then the other ones can have a little bit of time as well. So I do think it has unless they add more matches, which I do also think is a possibility. As it stands right now, I think they have plenty of time to give these girls like 12 minutes and just be like, all right, Zoe, do what you can do.
Go on.
Yeah. But with that, Albert, you're up. Are you intrigued at all? And what are your thoughts? Okay.
I am. I think that Zoe gave 2 strong performances in Crown Jewel, and then she gave another strong performance in that Battle Royal. I think she held her own on the mic. I don't think she was great by any means, but I think, like you said, Jimmy, she was serviceable, and I think this is her coming out party. I think WWE Triple H sees something in her. He's investing in her because he brought her up with the association with Trish Stratus, so it's not like she just got the regular introduction from NXT. She was in a ready-made storyline and beat Becky Lynch, on multiple occasions, got wins over Becky Lynch. There's something there that Triple H really likes about Zoe. I think Zoe Stark is a gimmick or a chant or just something like a little something away from being a top female superstar.
Yeah.
I think this is what they want for her right now. I think Rhea, of course, wins, but I think Zoe has a coming out party. And I do agree. I think that there might be something more to this. Maybe somebody comes out afterwards to, approach Rhea or something like that. Yeah. I think there's a little bit more to this than just the match. But, yeah, Rhea definitely wins.
I think what Zoe's missing is she knows she's talented. I don't think she believes herself that she belongs in this position. So if she doesn't believe it, it's hard for us to believe it as well. And that's where I think the match is going to come into play, because that's where it does her best work. So if she's going to make us believe, it's got to be in that ring with Rhea Ripley. And we've seen Rhea Ripley have some with Charlotte. She had a fantastic match with Charlotte.
I absolutely agree.
Did that with Charlotte in a long time. So
yeah. I mean, I do absolutely agree, though. I mean, there comes a point where I think that, she doesn't have the experience yet. I think this is a big spot for her. And I think this is, one of those ways to get her out of the way so that her second title match with Rhea afterwards holds a lot more weight. Okay, you got me in the first one because I was inexperienced. But now on the way back, I got your number kind of a thing, Yeah.
So, all right, another clean sweep. Again, I figured that one was coming. So, extra questions, baby. And right into yet another one. We have the Intercontinental Championship between Miz and Gunther. I'm going to ask a different question here. And I'm going to start with you, Albert. That way Alex has some time to think. I want you to try and sell me on the idea that Miz has a chance.
I think they've been doing an excellent job in building Miz's character back up so that he's not just this chump, that when he wants to turn it on, he can. I think he's been having really good matches with Ivar and, with these bigger guys to prove that he's got what it takes to hang in the ring. Look, there's no way in hell Miz wins this match.
I'm not even going to try, Jimmy.
Right. But I do think they are doing a really good job in building up why it's an important title defense for Gunther. I think that, it shows that Miz is a multiple-time former world champion. He's a 2-time Grand Slam champion. He's, there's just so much. He's one of the, I'm sorry, he has the most reigns as Intercontinental Champion. Yeah. That's what I was looking for. So he's got these records, something that Gunther's never going to have, because that the guy's not going to lose the championship, win it back, and then just lose it again. I mean, so
as a kid, I saw people who had multiple title defenses as just the biggest losers on the planet. It's like, why'd you lose the world title 16 times, Ric Flair? You're a loser. And I like the guys who only won it twice. So they know what's up. So Miz is a loser in this case, and Gunther isn't.
Right.
Yes.
But I think that they're doing an excellent job in making it an important match for Gunther. I think that he plows through Miz. Miz puts up a serviceable match. But I think that Gunther overcomes, and he's gonna think. I think he's gonna start going into the super heavyweight version of his division now. Start taking on those guys like Bronson Reed and Ivar. I love it.
Yeah. So I do think the idea here is to cement Gunther as the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time.
Yes.
And one of the things to add to that list, I know the Miz is nothing what he used to be, but he is, like Albert just said, he's held the title more than anybody. So for Gunther, he has the opportunity to wrestle him, and it's not like they haven't made it to in a way that was forced. It was, but it didn't. It wasn't just like Miz came out and said, "Hey, I'm this. I'm getting the shot." He's kind of had to build his way back up and earn that. So I appreciate that they've done that because this is a big match for Gunther. Just for the sake that he now can, after he beats Miz, he can literally say, "I am the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time because I beat Honky Tonk's record. I just beat the Miz, who's held this thing more than anybody. I've proven that there's nobody that's held this title that's better than me." So
the only person
important match for sure.
The only person that lays claim at all would be a Jericho feud, but he can't because he's in another company. That's the only other guy
that said he would never put over Walter. And that's just insanity, but that's for another day. Might not even be true. I just heard someone say it, and I'm like, that's crazy to think.
That doesn't sound like Chris Jericho.
But Alex,
okay,
I'm gonna ask you a different question. I know who we're taking. I want you, if Miz is winning right here, because Courtney says she wants it to happen. How would you have Miz beat Gunther if it was gonna happen? I have to make this interesting because we know who's winning.
Okay, so if there's like 0.1% chance that Miz is going to win it,
0.0001. Yeah.
Yes, sorry, 0.0001. So definitely it will be the most devastating move in all of professional wrestling. That is roll up. Other than that, I can't see anything.
I would say Ludwig Kaiser probably came into play because he just got scolded and he didn't like it. But that's not happening. It's not happening. We always say
I'll say the Miz for me, in my opinion, maybe there are many people who will not like my opinion in this one. The Miz is the greatest intercontinental champion of modern era. Gunther is really good wrestler, but Miz have made us invested in every single rivalry he had when he was Intercontinental Champion. And his rivalry with Dolph Ziggler was something else.
Yeah, it was good.
It was really good. With Gunther, I just get invested with this Drew McIntyre and Sheamus rivalry, the triple threat, and with Chad Gable. Chad Gable rivalry was really good with Gunther. But the mic skills that Miz have, he's like the most consistent guy in WWE from the past 10-15 years, I'll say. He's really, really good. And I love to see Miz winning the title, but definitely it's not happening. Definitely it's not happening. But yes, Miz is like best for me as an Intercontinental Champion.
The argument is there. I can't say you're wrong because it clearly is there. There's an argument for it. I think Gunther's kind of very recently kind of started to find his place as far as outside the ring stuff.
Yes.
Because what I thought was really cool is when he came out, there's no way in hell I'm going to look at Miz as a believable babyface. Just wasn't going to happen.
Yes.
And then he was doing his thing with Kaiser and Vinci. And then when Gunther came out, I immediately flipped the switch and was like, no, I'm buying Miz as a babyface right now. And I think that's a testament to what Gunther was doing. So I think he's getting that part that Miz has been fantastic for years and years and years.
Yes.
But again, the argument can be made. Anybody that argues against it is silly. They're wasting their time.
I have one question for you, Jimmy and Albert, both. That two guys, you will tell me two guys who are the best person to dethrone Gunther. Two guys.
Chad Gable, because I said it back in April and we almost saw it happen, and I still think we have a road to get back there. And if it happens at WrestleMania, thank you. But he's number one on my list, hands down. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Number two, I don't want him to lose it. I would rather him just kind of drop it after he wins the world title. But if I have to pick a second person, Kaiser.
Okay.
Interesting. I like that. So I got to think that the natural answer is Chad Gable at this point, but I wouldn't mind seeing if there's somebody else that's going to do it. If you really want to make an impact for somebody to come up from NXT and dethrone him immediately, Braun Breaker might be that guy.
And he was the one that sent Gunther to the main roster. So
there's history there. So
my choice will be a bit different. Kaiser, yes, definitely there's a story behind it.
And
So
we just
Kaiser,
saw
I
it start.
agree. Yes, I agree with Kaiser. But I really like to see Ilya Dragunov dethroning Gunther after coming to main roster. I think he's the perfect guy.
I can see it happening. My only thing is I just don't want to see it happen because we saw it play out. And
Yes.
it's like, come on, don't I don't want to say I'd be mad because the match would be fantastic. And Ilya, it would be a great way to introduce Ilya as like, hey, take notice of this guy because he's right on par with Gunther. And you've all learned to love this guy and appreciate him. I just don't like him recycling the exact same thing. That's just being nitpicky because I say that now, but as soon as it happened, I'm like, okay, here we go. So yeah, and
it could just be as simple as saying that he's Gunther's kryptonite. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Yes.
So when Gunther wins the world title, then here comes Ilya Dragunov like a year later, but like here comes the Terminator again, and it's like, oh, you suck.
Right.
So yeah,
right.
That now that we've talked about it, I'm sold. Now I'm with it. I'm not putting it over Chad Gable though. No sir.
No, I'm okay with that too.
On to the next, in which we will do the Women's War Games match. And I'm just going to say this now because I said it last week and I'm sticking to it. I'm not a fan of Becky Lynch being added to this match. I'm just
we agreed with that.
I just
agreed.
I gave them an opportunity to kind of prove me wrong. They didn't show me enough or do enough for me to be like, that's acceptable. With that said, I absolutely love Becky Lynch, so I'm going to enjoy watching her kick some people's ass in this double steel cage.
So, Jimmy, I'm actually going to disagree with you slightly. I actually think they did enough to make me accept that it was Becky. Just for the simple fact of them taking and Mia, at least gave me the, it gave me the idea of like, okay, it can't be anybody in the building. They've got to get outside help in order to, to do it. So I kind of like the way that at least that they told the story.
Yeah. I already knew that was how they were going to do the story. Like, it really sank in on Friday, like, it's going to be Becky. It's going to be Becky. And then I'm like, they're probably going to have them, like, say, you need to pick a partner, and they're just going to take out all the girls that talk to them. It was kind of an obvious one, but, again, it was effective. It let everyone else in the locker room be like, yeah, I'm not doing it then. So they did I just said they didn't do enough. They did enough to make me see like, okay, I know what you're trying to do here. But why did Becky just give in so easily?
Yes.
And I'm also looking at this as we're probably going to see Becky and Charlotte team up or something at some point. And it's like, I don't want to see that either. I just don't. But that's all the negativity I'm going to give on that. We're going to move into the match itself. I want to know who you got winning, who you got taking the pin, and who you got giving the pin. Alex, go.
Okay.
On the spot.
Damage Control is going to win. I don't think so, Charlotte and Bianca, because this team is looking super strong. Bianca, Charlotte, Becky, and Shotzi. So definitely Shotzi is going to take the pin. Definitely she's going to take the pin. And either Asuka or Bailey are going to pin Shotzi. I don't think so it will be Io. It will be either Bailey or Asuka. And like people are saying that they might have this match between Damage Control in WrestleMania between Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. I think the better match will be Kairi versus Asuka versus Io Sky. I think that will be a better one.
Yeah. I think we're just getting Bailey versus Io. That's what I think we're getting to. I don't think Dakota's going to be part of it at all. But
Bailey is going to win the Rumble. I think so.
Absolutely. Yes. That's my thoughts as well.
Yes.
So
and I really didn't like
Shotzi taking the pin from Bailey. Is that what we have? Okay.
And I really didn't like the addition of Becky Lynch. Now, if they keep it as a surprise and they reveal it on the event, that will be much better.
See, I think that would have played out better because it could have. Charlotte could have just went to Adam Pearce, says, "Hey, we have someone, but you see what's happening. Just let it play out." And hey, you know what? That's fine. I think that would have played out a little bit better. I don't know.
And there would be a reason for Becky to be there.
Huh?
It's a co-branded pay-per-view.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
So Yeah, that would have been slightly better for me. I still am not sold that she should be there though. But if they play into the fact that she has a history against damage control, okay. But we don't really have a lot of time for that to play out, so that's kind of the gripe. We have,
Mhm.
we'll see tomorrow night, I guess.
Yes.
But Albert, you're up. Who's winning? Who's pinning? And who are they pinning? Go.
Bianca Belair pins Bailey to win War Games. That's what I'm going with. I think Bailey is going to lose the match. I think that everybody's gonna think, oh, they're gonna throw Bailey out. I can't believe that that's gonna be it. And they're gonna keep her around for a little bit longer. I think they're gonna toy with her a little bit, and Bailey's emotions are gonna start getting, played with, and then she's gonna start redeeming herself again. And every time it looks like, damage control is about to lose, Bailey's the one who's kind of keeping them alive. And then I think I'm right there with you guys. I think she wins the Royal Rumble, and Io and all of them are like, well, this is great. You can go face Rhea Ripley because you have.
Like, I don't want to do that.
Nope. After all this, I'm going to take your title. And I think it's going to play out really well. I think Bailey is deserving of that spot. I think that she is like the forgotten 4-horsewoman when it comes to major, matches, especially at WrestleMania and stuff.
She hasn't gotten her moment yet.
Yeah, she deserves this. But I think it starts with her eating a pinfall at War Games.
Okay. I'm gonna go crazy with this one. I think Team Bianca wins here. I think Bailey eats the pin. But I think Shotzi is the one that pins her. Because Bianca does not need this pin.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte does not need this pin. And Becky does not need this. I always look at like what's the best possible scenario for a match like this to elevate people and progress story. Obviously, Bailey losing progresses that story. Who does it elevate the most? Shotzi. They've been trying their damnedest for the past 2 months to be like, hey, Shotzi's here. Y'all need to get used to it. And I think this would be a great way to solidify is like, okay, she's not a joke anymore, guys. She just won the match for them by pinning Bailey. So that's how I would personally do it. So that's what I'm going to go with. And as we all know from yesterday, I am the greatest booker of all time on the interwebs. So I know what I'm talking about, baby. Yeah. Expectations for this match. What are we thinking?
This might be the show stealer.
Okay.
Yes, the underrated match of the entire card, I'll say. The most
I think. Yeah, I think with Io in there, she's jumping off the cage.
She's doing a moonsault with a trash can on.
Yes, it's happening. It's happening. 100% it's happening.
Shotzi's crazy too, so she's jumping
exactly
as well.
And now Kairi's also there, so she can also jump.
This is gonna be crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Becky might do a leg drop off the top.
Yeah, they can do like that. What was that 4 turnbuckle of doom from the from a movie? they
have 2 rings.
Be doing that inside there.
Works a little bit better.
Yes,
that'd be dope. Becky, Io,
Kairi, and Charlotte.
No, yeah, I was gonna say it has to be Charlotte. It has to be because Becky and Shotzi. Shotzi's definitely doing it.
Yeah,
it's probably gonna be Charlotte, not Becky.
Yes,
Damn,
yes,
she always steals everything. Oh, I hate you, Charlotte. But yeah, that would be cool if they did a 4-corner. Be dope. They all jump off. Yeah, I do think this match. I think it could steal the show.
Yes.
What was it? NXT 2019 War
19.
Game, I think.
Yes, it was 19.
Just completely just blew our minds. That's what I'm looking for here. That's what I'm looking for. Oscar.
And I think this will be the first match.
Yeah, probably.
First match.
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah.
Yes.
So there we go. We got some different picks on that one. That's what I'm looking for, baby. And now it is time for the main event of the evening, the men's War Games match. It is Judgment Day with the new addition of JD McDonough, Funko Pop, Tidy's #1 guy, taking on Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes. I don't even like saying his name. And why can't I think right now?
Jey
Jey
Uso.
Uso, because I'm a Jimmy Uso guy, not a Jey Uso guy. That's why it was slipping my tongue. Okay, so with that said, I'll go first so you guys get time to think this time. Same question. Who's winning, who's pinning, and who are they pinning? And now that I'm on the spot, I don't really have an answer. So I'm assuming the good baby faces are winning the women's one, so I'm going to assume the villains are winning the main event one. So with that, I think my boy Damian Priest is going to pin Seth Rollins to win for Judgment Day. That's what I'm picking.
Yes, I agree.
Albert, I'm gonna let you go next. Alex seems like he's agreeing with me, so I'm gonna let him stew on it for a little bit before he makes that his official decision. Albert, you're gonna go up. I can't believe I didn't just pick Dirty Dom. I swear I hate myself right now.
I can't believe you didn't, and I'm really upset with you, to be completely honest.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, Dom.
I think that the baby faces win. And I think that I'm going to go with Jey Uso pins JD McDonough. But I think that after the match is over, we're going to get a brutal attack on everybody. Drew McIntyre is going to be out there as well. I mean, there could be a fifth person on both of these teams.
We're going to get that in bonus questions.
Yes,
right.
Yes. So I also have to say many things about this.
But that also does skew the who pins who, because if we don't exactly know who's in it, we can't really pick that. So even if, let's just say, Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre are in this match, I still think that it plays out that the babyfaces win. I think that Drew goes completely nuts, starts taking everybody's head off. I think that Orton starts going nuts, starts beating on everybody, and in all the confusion, we get a cash in, and Damian Priest wins the World Championship at Survivor Series.
Dang, he's saying there's a cash in. Wow.
Yes.
All right. See, that's why I think the babyfaces win, because I don't see a cash in happening. But if the babyfaces lose, there definitely has to be a cash in. Like, Priest is the biggest idiot on the planet if he does it.
Yeah, exactly.
But nobody can stop them from just doing whatever they want to do. All right, Alex, your turn is finally here. What's it going to be?
I think Judgment Day is going to win it. Babyface are not going to win it. But I think there will be addition of one more member in both the teams. Drew is going to join Judgment Day, and Randy is coming back and joins the team. But there's a twist in my theory that Randy will join, but in the end, he RKOs his team members, Cody and Seth Rollins. And then Damian pins one of them, and wins the match. And Randy just walks away, and then cash-in will happen. Cash-in is happening. I think so. Cash-in is happening in this event. Yes. I don't know he's going to win it or lose it, this Damian, but
I just completely contradicted myself because I have Priest pinning Rollins, so why wouldn't he cash in right after that? We're gonna see a cash in, aren't we?
Yes,
I think so.
Don't do this to me, Triple H.
It is a perfect chance.
Just to clarify, who you got pinning who? You got Priest pinning somebody?
Priest pinning Cody, I'll say. Cody. I'll not say Rollins.
Like he should have at Crown Jewel. Yeah. Priest pins Cody. I'd love to see that. I love
after the RKO from Randy Orton.
So that just goes right into our bonus question. First one being, let me get rid of that real quick. First bonus question being, Randy Orton. Do we see him at Survivor Series?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Follow-up question. Do we see him show up at Survivor Series, or do we see him show up tomorrow night on Raw?
Survivor Series.
What did you say? Yeah.
Tomorrow.
I'm of the same. If he's going to show up, which honestly at this point, if he doesn't, CM Punk better. They can't not deliver one of them at this point. Fans are gonna get pissed.
And here's the thing. I think that if you
patience at this point,
and I think that if you debut a mystery man in Chicago, it has to be Punk. I think you have to do it tomorrow night to let everyone know, hey, it's going to be a huge surprise. It's Randy Orton. It's huge, but it's not the guy that's from your hometown that you want a fantasy book that it's going to be.
I just thought about this, but like Alex said in his last one, Randy turning on them at the end. If he shows up as that mystery person, we're going to be the fans that have built expectations up in their own heads are going to be mad at Randy Orton. So then when you follow that up with him attacking Cody Rhodes, that kind of helps you out a little bit in that scenario. I don't know if you want to take that gamble because some people might start rioting, but
it's a little risky.
It is, but I could see that being a reason for it to wait until Survivor Series. I think it would have helped make Randy hated if that's the road they're going to go down. But I think on Raw, it's to kill that expectation. Like, no, Randy will be there. Here he is. There's no Punk coming. That way, if he does, it's a nice surprise. But at the same time, it's like, no, we've killed the rumor. It's not happening. Stop getting mad at us when it doesn't. I think you have to do Randy tomorrow on Raw. So we'll see. Man. Next one's up, CM Punk. Do we see CM Punk at Survivor Series?
Yes, he's coming back. This
My
time
man
he's
Alex
coming back.
saying,
Yes. Yes. He's coming back. And I'm actually very excited to see him back in WWE.
I don't think so.
And I think there will be a match. With Shinsuke. I think.
Do you think
I'd like
the
to
Cody
see that.
Rhodes thing with Shinsuke? Like when they did Seth, the whole time with Cody, and then now they're doing Shinsuke and CM Punk?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a follow-up question in just a second. I want to hear what Albert had to say.
I don't think we see CM Punk, so.
Okay. So,
yeah. I would look. I'm not saying I wouldn't like to see it happen. I'm not saying I don't want it to happen. I just don't think I see it happening.
Okay. So, Alex, give me a reason why CM Punk would answer a Shinsuke Open challenge. Because that's my only issue with it, is I can't figure out why that would be a thing.
Actually, I'm also confused with the teasers that Shinsuke is doing. But there's no other place where Punk will return. Like, he's not joining in the War Games match. That is for sure.
No.
He's not a new signing, a major announcement in the company like other company. So I think that is the only way to bring him back in the event, answering a challenge, and it is his hometown, Chicago.
Yeah.
That is the only thing I can see.
I think Shinsuke is calling out Braun Strowman. I think the last one he said something about the hands. That was an emphasis of the whole promo. Braun Strowman says, "Get these hands."
I'll switch off the TV. If this will happen, I'll switch off the TV.
I'm go ahead and killing expectations now for you. I'm bringing you back down to reality, baby. I think it's Braun Strowman. And I'm going to say, I don't think we see CM Punk either. But if we did, there is a place for him, and we saw it happen in AEW. You literally have him start your show off. Get in there, cut yourself like a 7-8 minute promo, a long promo, talking about his feelings. CM Punk speaking like just from his gut, his heart, whatever we're going to call it, is CM Punk at his best.
Yes.
Let him go do that. I feel like that's going to be something that like shows good faith. Like, hey, we're giving you some trust here, man. Let us know this partnership's going to work. He goes out there, he cuts his promo, and then I don't think there's a reason to like throw him in anything that night. I think they would just be happy to see him and know, all right, he's back. Because again, in AEW, it was played out beautiful. Yes. There's no reason not to just do the same thing over. Copy him. Who gives a shit? Like, the people who don't want to see CM Punk are going to give a shit, but who gives a shit what they think? Because this is not for them. It's for the people who want to see him. So that's how I would do it.
I think that's the best way for it to happen. As a matter of fact, I would love to see something like that. He comes out, he cuts a promo. The next night on Raw, the show opens with him, like, sitting in a locker room with Nick Aldis.
Here comes Dirty Dom, baby.
but that would normally be what would happen. But, they show Punk with Aldis, sitting in the back, and he's like, "Thank you for having me here, yada, yada, yada." And then as people walk in and interact with Aldis, they interact with Punk. and we get a lot of those face-to-faces until we get to the main event, and maybe it's like a number one contenders match for Rollins' title, or maybe Rollins is, maybe Priest is a new champion and Punk goes and sits ringside. Thinking you can tell a great story with Punk not even not interacting physically with anybody, but interacting with almost everybody.
There's nobody better at doing nothing and making it something than CM Punk.
Yeah, I agree.
So
he's a great character to do stuff like that with.
Yes. I don't think you would see him on Raw if he shows up, though. I think he would cut a promo, let everybody know he's here. He's not ready, but when he is ready, you'll know
he's coming
kind of thing. And then he'll be ready at Royal Rumble. So he'll take like a month off before we see him again on TV. That's how I always.
It's better. It's better.
That's how I'd play it out. So
yes, it's better.
They treat the acts like that as. Like Edge said it himself. Like he wanted to go to AEW because of the more dates. With WWE, they treat him like an attraction. He doesn't get his like feet wet all the time. So that's why he chose AEW. So with CM Punk, they would do that 100%. No matter how hard like he fought it. Like, no, we got to keep you special, and this is how we're going to do it. So third bonus question. It's a little bit of a doozy. I'll go first again to give you some time to think about it because I'm putting you on the spot. But there's 5 matches. We talked about this earlier. There could possibly be more matches added. Yes. If you were to add a match, I want you to tell me what you would add. Again, I'll give you time. I already know on an easy one. I'll let you go first then. That way, in case I'm not stealing stuff.
Okay, this is the first pay-per-view without Bloodline having a match till now.
He's taking.
So it is LA Knight and AJ Styles versus Solo and Jimmy. AJ Styles most likely returning before Survivor Series on this week of SmackDown, most likely. And they'll have a tag match. Without Bloodline, I don't think so. There will be one pay-per-view. So definitely this match will be there.
I like that.
So Solo and Jimmy Uso versus AJ Styles and
LA Knight.
And LA Knight. Okay. You know what? If that played out, I appreciate that so much more because Albert, are you ready?
I mean,
I can go if you're not.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I like your match better than my match because mine is LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa.
Okay,
and the only reason I don't like that match is because I don't think Solo Sikoa should be eating a pin from LA Knight, and I don't think LA Knight should be eating a pin from anybody right now. Yes. So it's a good match because I'm like, hey, whoa, I really don't know who you have win this one. And in a very predictable show, I think that would kind of help make it a better show. Just that one little thing will help. But yeah, I don't know who I would want to win that. And they'd have a damn hard time of convincing me that it was okay to do and not going to detriment them in any way moving forward. So Solo LA Knight's mine. I hope it's yours over mine. 100%.
You guys kind of stole the two only matches I would have kind of picked too, I mean, I mean, look, there is something to be said. Like if we I would like to see them not open with War Games. I'd actually like to see them open with like a really hot fatal 4-way opener with like Dragon Lee and like Axiom and Cedric Alexander and like Tozawa or something, just to get the crowd going off. I would like to see something like that added, if anything. But realistically, almost all of our champions are booked. Logan Paul is nowhere to be found, unfortunately, and that was my issue with him winning the U.S. title to begin with. But I think we've got a pretty good representation of everybody on the show. There's a lot of group matches that kind of helps mask that. So, yeah. I mean, unless Logan Paul was back and was able to defend the U.S. title against somebody, I really don't even think there's a need to even add anything else.
I'll try and throw you a hint. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you think that one of them could take on Kevin Owens? Maybe both of them could take on Kevin Owens.
Sure, or Owens could find a partner. Yes. Or that's the only other story that's brewing. But I also think that if you put Owens in that building, it would make zero sense as to why Owens isn't the tag partner against Judgment Day. If Becky can do it, why wouldn't it be Owens?
Because he's moving on. I think they could address it. Like,
Yes.
yeah, I'm glad you didn't even bother me because I don't want nothing to do with it. Like, I'm over it.
But for one night, he returned to do it for NXT just for the hell of it. You know what I mean? Like, it makes too much sense. That's why I just don't think he should even be at the pay-per-view.
Okay. I feel like there's a few. When they added Santos versus Carlito, my mind was like, oh, there's kind of a few possibilities here. I think you could get Kevin Owens versus Theory, you could get Kevin Owens versus Waller, you could get Kevin Owens versus either one of them. I think Ivar and Bronson Reed would be kind of a wild one to throw in there.
I wouldn't mind it.
But again, I feel like they've had a longer build than the Santos Carlito one. So why wouldn't that have the opportunity to make it on Survivor Series? And that would be really cool for them because, again, getting these guys who never get opportunities on one of the allegedly big fours, that's cool for them. That's exposure. So, and I also think we might just get thrown together Survivor Series teams. I think that's a possibility as well. Like have a three-way like we did that year with NXT. So have 3 teams of 4 or 3 times of 5, whatever, have a Survivor Series match.
I would love that. Actually, that's what I would like. A traditional Survivor Series match would be perfect. Yes. I don't care what it is. Yes. Yeah, give me something.
Old school. He might be shocking us with it this week. You never know.
I would love that.
Yes, that's a possibility. And we are forgetting one thing that maybe we will see Jimmy Uso interfering in the War Games match, the men's War Games match. He can attack Jey Uso, maybe.
It's a possibility.
Yes, because they're in the same building.
So yeah.
It might happen.
I think if either one of our matches don't happen, I don't think we see Jimmy at all, which is weird. I didn't even think about this being like a bloodline-less pay-per-view.
It will be there. It will be there. They will add the match.
And you know what?
That's information.
That's the hottest WWE storyline, and WWE has a very, very well-booked pay-per-view without their hottest storyline. So
all the people who were like, Roman's killing the show, killing WWE. No, he's not. Get out of here with that bullshit.
It's an already great show gets elevated even further when Roman's on it.
Yes.
It's really great when he's not here, but when he's here, it's stupendous. Since everyone loves that word now. Thank you, WrestleMania. Thank you, Vince McMahon, for that one. But so there's the predictions. I know last week I said I was going to do the live thing on Twitter, not X, Twitter, of who was winning to kind of build up the anticipation for the championship. Things came up, I didn't have it. I will be doing it for Survivor Series, though. Don't worry about it. I'm going to be Jimmy 1-0 over all the other ones. 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. That's what it's going to go. And I'm going to be quad champ. I'm going to look like
we agreed with 3 of them.
All right, fine. After that, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to look like Ultimo Dragon when it's all said and done. That's all we need to know about. Have all of them just dripping off me. 4-time champ. Now just start going on everyone else's shows and taking theirs as well.
That's all right. I'm just start taking them all from you.
I didn't plan on doing this week because we were doing the prediction show, but I'll give him the opportunity if he wants. We have the new segment, Alex, where it is the Guestion of the Week. Our guest asks us a question about anything in the wrestling world that we would like to discuss briefly. I'll give you the opportunity if you want. If not, no worries.
How many questions?
Just one. Just like a real quick topic to end the show on.
Okay. Do you guys think that Roman is going to pass this Hulk Hogan's title record?
Do you want the long answer or the quick answer?
Whatever you feel.
No is my short answer. Fuck no is my long answer. It's not happening. Cody Rhodes is winning at WrestleMania 40, and everybody just needs to stop thinking it's not going to happen. Stop worrying about it, everybody. It'll be okay. I promise you. Hulk Hogan doesn't even have the record. He doesn't even have the record.
If it will happen, then what is your reaction, Jimmy? If Cody will lose again to Roman, then what you will do?
I'll be like the other idiots, and I'll start questioning things because it doesn't make sense to me. Because the Hulk Hogan record, he's not even the record holder.
Yes.
So Bruno,
So then what are we
Yes.
going to do? Wait another 5 years from beat Bruno? No, that's not happening, everybody. Shut up. He's past 1,000 days. He's in the same category as Hulk Hogan. It's done with. He's losing WrestleMania 40. Get over it, everybody.
Alex, I hate to be this guy, but I kind of agree with exactly what Jimmy is saying.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say that on our other show that we do, that I've been on for the past couple of weeks, Let Us Talk to You, that Zero hasn't sold me a little bit on the fact that he really does believe that Roman is going to retain at WrestleMania 40,
Yes.
and he's going to, he's going to break that Hogan record, and there's the chance he might break Bruno's record. I just don't see it going that far. I think it's too much. I think that Triple H now knows that people are starting to get tired of it, and that after Roman loses the championship, there's a very big post-breakup angle that doesn't need the championship with it. That there's a story to tell with Roman until he wants to take his very long hiatus. So I don't think so.
If Hulk Hogan was the number one guy on the list, I would say yes. There is a real possibility it goes on, but he's not.
I agree.
So I don't know what everyone's fascination with that theory is, that, oh, he's got to pass Hogan, then he'll drop it. Why? He's not Bruno. He's not number one. So, no. Stop it.
I am also tired. To see Roman as champion. He needs to drop the title now. It is too long now. It is actually too long. And Cody is the perfect guy.
Yeah.
He's the perfect guy.
And it's playing out, like, all the people who, like, how is he going to stay? He's not going to be able to stay over. He's just not going to be able to be as over next year as he is this year. It ain't stopped. It hasn't stopped. So, stop. Y'all are just preparing for the worst and doing all this worrying for nothing. I promise you the moment's going to happen. We're all going to love it. No, people won't. People will hate on it. Be like, it took long enough. Stupid people. I don't want to hear it. But
they always do.
He's not beating Hulk Hogan's record. It's not Hulk Hogan's record. It's Bruno's. Stop it, everybody.
And that's the other thing. Everybody talks about maybe the idea of doing that because they want to erase Hogan a little bit more from history. But Hogan, like you said, Hogan doesn't even have the record. And even though Bruno is, by all intents and purposes, the greatest champion in WWF history, it's not ever told that way. It's told that it's Hogan. It's always told that it's Hogan. Even when they talk about how Austin, did it, it was like, because Hogan paved the way. It's always been Hogan, so it doesn't make a difference. If Roman breaks that record, it doesn't erase Hogan at any point either.
He's it's not even arguable. He is the biggest name to ever come out of the world of professional wrestling. I think The Rock is on his way to topping it for sure. The argument can be made in a few years. But Hulk Hogan is still the guy that is like, when people think wrestling, most of the people who don't know anything about wrestling are going to say Hulk Hogan. Yeah, I know Hulk Hogan. So taking his second place on the list of champions isn't going to change the fact that Hulk Hogan is undeniably the biggest name in the history of professional wrestling.
When he crossed the 1,000 days, it was the time that he can lose. After 1,000 days, that's not an issue. He can lose the title anytime now.
And just like the whole honky tonk thing, like if I wasn't on the internet seeing what all these smarks were just saying all the time about they've held the title this, I wouldn't have known Honky Tonk was the guy until commentary told me.
Yes.
So, if I didn't see all the people just talking about it all the time that have nothing to do with the shows, which a lot of the people who go to those shows don't invest in, they don't know anything unless they're told. So they don't care. They're there for the experience. They don't care enough to be like, well, who is this and this and this and this, because it's a show to them. So it's not as big a deal to the people who are paying more money to go to these shows than the people online bitching about it who don't pay to go to these shows. They're not catering to you. They're catering to the people who give them money. So it ain't happening. Cody's losing at WrestleMania 40. I'm willing to start taking any kind of bets with people if they want. That's how certain I am. I'll do any stupid kind of thing you want me to do if I'm wrong. Promise you, it ain't happening, everybody. Cody Rhodes is winning at WrestleMania 40. Hulk Hogan's record. Anyway, there you go. You got a rant from me.
a very rare
Okay.
rant on this show, actually.
Yeah. Guestion of the week, it got me. But now it's time for our goodbyes. But before we say our goodbyes, I'll allow you to say what it is you want to say, plug whatever it is you need to plug. And as always, guest first. Alex, let them know what it is and where they can find you, bud.
If you want to find me, find me. If you don't want to find me, don't find me. That's fine. This is WrestleBuddy. And if you want to subscribe, please subscribe. And if you will not subscribe, like I always say, Tony Khan will come to your home and fuck your ass.
He got serious with it.
He does always say that too. He's not lying.
Albert, your turn to follow up.
How do I follow that?
Go watch Slam Session.
You have to do that, yeah. Let stick with WrestleBuddy real quick. I have the article that I wrote a couple weeks ago up on WrestleBuddy. If you haven't read it yet, go read it. If you haven't heard me on the podcast with Alex and Bobby and Zero, go watch it. You guys are crazy. They're great. You should be watching this stuff. It's awesome. But, of course, as always, watch the Slam Sessions. New Toy Room video will be loaded up tonight. So get ready for that.
All right. And we will be back next Sunday. I'm pretty sure it might not happen. I'll let you know pretty early on, though, because it is a big weekend. We got Thanksgiving for whatever reason.
Yep.
I have to do that. Don't really care to, but it is what it is. But it's also my son's birthday, so I will see what kind of time I have available for it.
Great.
More than likely, I'll be doing it because they'll be in bed anyway. So, yes. Now we're doing the show next week. We'll be back next week. We'll talk about Survivor Series, and I have a great guest lined up because I don't think he's been poisoned by the world of Twitter, but he has a great YouTube channel. So that'll be fun next week. And that's the show. So thank you, Alex, for joining us. I know you're tired.
Thank you so much for having me.
Go to sleep, man. Go get you some sleep. And Albert, I will see you next week. But thank you all for watching, and don't you dare forget to, as Courtney says at the end here, just enjoy wrestling. Thank you.